One day at work, I was talking to some people, and one of my coworkers came up to me and said, "I fought with your campaign." And I said to him, "What do you think my campaign is?" And he was like, "Kindness." After that, we had this joke where I call him my father because he was always watching me. It's like an autistic person's fantasy. It's like what we live for is for somebody to watch us the way we watch them without ill intent. Like, I don't like to be stared at. I don't want to be like people competing with me and doing weird stuff like that. But he observed me and then came to me and said, "I fought with your campaign." And I would agree with him. Kindness is my campaign. A lot of people think that autistic people lack empathy. It was actually studies done that said this about autistic people and people on the spectrum before we realized that a lot of people are on the spectrum and that autism doesn't just look a certain way. For example, if you're talking to somebody with autism like myself and you tell a joke that I was a little tickled by, but it wasn't really, knee slapping, I will still chuckle out a laugh. Now, to the person listening, it might sound disingenuous, like I'm just doing it because, I'm just a fake ass bitch. But really, the level of empathy I have is that even if I didn't think the joke was funny, I know that you put yourself out there to tell this joke. So I laugh. And then you get ridiculed for not laughing in a way that they recognize to be, genuine. It's because I'm not really good at being inauthentic. So it comes off as fake. But the intention behind it was for you. It was for you to feel funny, This is probably why studies from the outside looking in think that autism looks like narcissism, because I say things like, "I'm doing this for you." If you show me after my observing you for a long time that you're disingenuous or something like that, I'm going to separate myself, and it's going to seem like I'm emotionless about it, but I just have a lot of practice in it. I have a lot of practice in letting people go. I really love the word that he used. It's my campaign, and it is. In everything I do, I try to be kind. Does it always work? No. Sometimes when I'm having, a meltdown or sensory issues or whatever, sometimes I may not come off like I'm a kind person or I'm an attentive person. I wouldn't say kind because I don't be saying nothing crazy, but I lead with kindness because I know what it feels like to desire kindness on a consistent basis, desire empathy on a consistent basis, and people just not willing to put themselves in your shoes or other shoes for that matter. Just try to understand why people do what they do. It's mind-boggling to me because it's my second nature. That's all I want to do is figure out why people do what they do, But what is your campaign? What is it that you lead with? What is it that you want to put out into this world?